I'm a school board trustee, but I'm also a parent, and I'm here to talk to you as a parent. There's an epidemic in this country that began 30 years ago, and it began with good intentions. We noticed that student academic performance was declining compared to other nations. We were afraid of losing our competitive edge. This put a spotlight on public education, and it led lawmakers to find ways to hold schools accountable. Great idea when you think we have 16,000 school districts across the country. Some are big, some are small, some are in urban areas, some are in rural. This was a way to hold every student accountable to the same measure of success, advance at the same pace, and increase student achievement. The problem is there were unintended consequences. There were big incentives attached to this, federal money. So schools began putting more resources towards testing. Teachers were evaluated based on test scores, and so teachers began teaching to the test. We started shifting away from enriching activities such as music and art and dance. When educators are motivated by student achievement, they can push kids aside, and they're motivated by their own personal gain. Our communities saw the worst effects of teaching to the test culture. In July 2011, our superintendent was working in his office when federal agents burst through the door, put him in handcuffs, and led him into federal custody. In a wide-reaching teaching scandal, they realized that students were disappearing from the district. They were moving around and out of school, falsifying credits, and creating diploma mills just to improve state and national accountability scores. Let me tell you a personal story. This is my son, Jackson. This is him in kindergarten with a beloved teacher. Happy child, loved school. We enrolled him in a public school in first grade, and he was matched with an old-style traditional teacher. She believed in strict order and discipline. She would say, TTT. Kids, when you hear TTT, it means tuck your tummy to the table. She wanted the kids, six years old, sitting up so straight and tall in their chairs that their tummies were pressed up against the table. Jackson has ADHD, and he can't sit still and up straight anywhere. After days of dragging a teary-eyed Jackson down the hallway and his teacher meeting us with a box of Kleenex, we decided we needed to move him to another classroom. We moved him to another school, or another class, where the teacher would put the kids in a circle and they would tap rhythm sticks. Tap, 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 animal, sounding out the syllables of words. Jackson would participate standing on his head. And the teacher allowed this because he wasn't disturbing the other kids, and when it was his turn, he would join in on cue. This teacher understood that Jackson needed to move to learn. When teachers focus on students and their individual needs and abilities and challenges, they bring out the best. This is an old-style classroom. This is how I remember learning, and how you all probably remember learning. In this classroom, the teacher has all the knowledge, and the students sit in chairs in rows and all face forward. There's very little movement in the classroom. Sit in your chairs, open to the assigned page, raise your hand when you're ready to speak. Sit, open, raise. Children can't be trained. Children need to be taught how to think. This is today's classroom. In an active learning environment, children move about the room, and they can learn in stations. They can learn individually with peers. They can learn one-on-one with a teacher, or they can get online and connect to a global community of knowledge and learning. Jackson's a senior today. If he was a freshman, he would enjoy learning in this type of classroom. Let me tell you about a student at Bowie High School. Students need multiple ways of learning, and to be globally competitive, they need to be multilingual. And there are huge cognitive benefits when we learn multiple languages. At Bowie High School, we have a student who started in 9th grade with no English. We put her in our dual language program, where she learned half the day in English and half the day in Spanish. She was connected with peers who were half native English speakers and half Spanish speakers. Through the process, they became fluent in English and Spanish. They became multilingual, multicultural. In 3 years, she was the valedictorian of her class. That is connecting to the needs of students and bringing out their best. Kids today, our freshman class, were born in 2002. They have iPads and cell phones, and they spend a lot of time on the internet. We can no longer tell kids to check your technology at the door. We have to embrace technology in our classrooms. We have to meet our kids in the spaces where they are. So we have a Bring Your Own Devices program. We say, bring it, get online, and we're going to help connect you to the global universe of online learning. We've distributed laptops one-to-one to every high school student. They take them home with them in the evenings, they keep them over the weekend, they keep them all summer. They're theirs until they leave us or they graduate. Student at El Paso High School this year is at Yale University. The computer that we issued to her and her family was the first computer in their home ever. When we embrace technology, we not only empower students, we empower families, and we build communities. If we focus on the needs of students, allow them to move in an active learning environment, connect them with their peers, and explore their passions through the universe of online learning, we will bring out the best. Our community was under a dark cloud, but we embraced education, and we put kids first. And through moving, connecting, and exploring, we will rise. El Paso community is rising, and we hope that you will join us for this transformative journey. Thank you.
Thank you.